short devotional to encourage your heart today, and I'm just going to speak for a couple of minutes on the theme of the provision of God. And the first verse I'm going to share is Psalm 34:10, and it says, "Those who seek the Lord lack no good thing." Then again in Psalm 84 it says, "No good thing does he withhold from those who walk uprightly." So two amazing verses that just really demonstrate this biblical principle of how God provides for his children. And I don't know if you knew that, church, but God, provides for us. He doesn't leave us destitute. He doesn't tell us he has plans and purposes for us and then not provide for us to fulfill all of those plans and purposes. God is a God who provides in many different ways, but in every season of our lives. And we don't always spot it at the time. We don't always appreciate it. Just like kids, don't always appreciate what their parents provide for them. It just kind of appears, like my kids, clean socks magically appear in their drawers, and clean school uniform magically appears in their wardrobes, and they kind of just don't even notice it. It's just there. And I think we can be like that a little bit sometimes, with not really recognizing all of the things that God provides for us. But anyway, two key verses in Psalms: "Those who seek the Lord lack no good thing, and no good thing does he withhold from those who walk uprightly." And it's just a principle that we need to learn in our Christian walk, just to learn to trust that God provides for us. And can you imagine? I know sometimes we get really frustrated when we think that God hasn't provided something that we need, and we're sort of eager to press on and to move forwards in something, but we can't, because there's an element that we haven't got provision for something that we think we need in that season. I'm just thinking a little bit about the journey of the Israelites through the wilderness, and can you imagine if God had have given Moses everything that he needed for that journey in advance? And we know that the way that God provided for the Israelites in the wilderness was that he fed them through manna falling from the sky, and they collected that every morning and they fed on this sort of bread type thing called manna. And then he sent quail for them to eat, and that would appear as well for them. And but can you imagine if God had have given Moses everything that he needed on day one of that journey into the wilderness? He wouldn't have been able to have carried all of that manna. He wouldn't have been able to have carried all of that quail for all of those people. And actually, what he thought, what everyone thinks they need for that journey, would have actually become a burden to them. And sometimes that's like us, we think that we need something, and so we don't press on and we don't take that step of faith because we think we need something, or we're lacking in provision in order to do it. And but if we have things before their due season, they actually become a burden to us. So we need to learn to be patient and to trust God that he will provide what we need at the time, and not try and press ahead, but trust God that each morning, it says his mercies are new every morning, he will provide what we need at the time that we need it. It says in 2 Corinthians 9 verse 8, "God is able to make all grace abound to you, so that having all sufficiency in all things at all times you may abound in every good work." So that tells us this morning that we don't need to worry about God's provision in our lives. At the right time, he will provide all things so that we may abound in every good work. So the challenge is this, and I know we don't like this because we like to have everything all in order before we take that step, and we push forward and we take that step of faith. If God hasn't provided you with something, it's because you don't need it yet. And we need to trust God in his wisdom that at the right time, he will provide what we need. So that's just a very quick encouragement to you this morning, using the illustration of the Israelites in the wilderness and the way that God provided for them, and knowing that God will provide what you need at the right time. And just take encouragement from these two verses in Psalms: "Those who seek the Lord lack no good thing, and no good thing does he withhold from those who walk uprightly." So all we need to worry about is walking uprightly, walking well in our Christian faith, following God, seeking him. It says those who seek the Lord lack no good thing. So let's put him first. Let's seek his face, and let's keep serving him and seeking after him. And then that will build a confidence and a peace in our hearts that he will provide everything we need at the time that we need it. So if you're lacking in provision today, just know that God is at work. He hasn't forgotten you, and he will provide what you need at the time that you need it. Okay, church, God bless you. Have a fantastic week and see you soon.